What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Detroit Sports Bettors Picks and Plays Show. I am Matt Kowalis. Some of you know me from SportsMemo, some of you know me from WagerTalk, some of you know me from Detroit Sports Bettors. Going forward, we're going to get rid of this intro. I want to make these as fast as possible. We have the music. You'll see my Twitter in there. You'll see the Detroit Sports Bettors Facebook page. I hope you join those. I hope you subscribe to this video. A ton of work goes into it. But going forward, we're going to recap and get going. With that being said, last week we went 1-3. Really shitty week, just didn't go at all how I thought. Kind of sucks too because we went 3-1 in week 2, completely cancels everything out. But we are still 6-5 on the year and throughout the YouTube series, and we're 19-13 across all different platforms. Also, another reason to check out what I put in the intro, okay? I post everywhere. I have to. I work for different companies now. The picks and plays got to get spread out. And my official plays are always over at SportsMemo. So if you want to check out my official plays, my favorite plays of the week, they'll be over there. Now, with that being said, let's get right into it. It's week 4, bounce back special, and I'm also going with a player who I think is going to bounce back, and this is Minnesota Vikings wideout Justin Jefferson over 82.5 yards. In week one against the Green Bay Packers, Justin Jefferson had 184 yards receiving, absolutely crushing this number, but then came back down to earth in week 2 and week 3. In 2021, however, Justin Jefferson hit this number in 9 out of 17 games and actually never missed this number in more than 2 games in a row. Okay, so that's also why I like this bounce back spot here. Justin Jefferson does not go 3 games or more in missing this number, and I think this is actually a good spot against the New Orleans Saints. And the reason I say that is because of the New Orleans Saints competition. The New Orleans Saints have faced the Atlanta Falcons, not a great passing attack, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who do, but were actually without Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, and Mike Evans got suspended in that game. And then they also faced the Carolina Panthers, who have Baker Mayfield, who is dead last in quarterback rating throughout the entire NFL. Now they face Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, and for the Minnesota Vikings to win, for the Minnesota Vikings to succeed on offense, it's getting Justin Jefferson involved. Yes, the New Orleans Saints have Marshawn Lattimore, but head coach Kevin O'Connell does a great job at moving Justin Jefferson around and getting him in mismatches throughout the field. I think this 82.5 is a much lower number than what most of us have seen Justin Jefferson's number at. You know, in week 2, he was at 96.5. So he's come back down to earth. This is a lower number than usual, and I think he goes over this. Like I said, he hit this in 9 out of 17 games. He's never let it go more than 3 games in a row where he misses the number. So I like him to come back. I like him to bounce back as well as me. So I'm going over Justin Jefferson, 82.5 yards. Now, moving on, this is actually one of my official picks and plays for the week over at SportsMemo. Just don't tell anyone. But this play, I do love this play. This is the New England Patriots traveling on the road to go against the Green Bay Packers. This is not a spread. This is an over-under. And I really enjoyed the under 40.5 for the Green Bay Packers and the New England Patriots, and here is why. First off, when looking at the Green Bay Packers, they're 3-0 with the under this year, and the Patriots are 2-1. The Packers might be a little bit of a surprise, but when you look at their offense, it's really not. You know, the Green Bay Packers and their Aaron Rodgers and his wide receiving core really haven't matched. They haven't had a ton of connections ever since Davante Adams has left. The best players on that offense now are Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, both of their running backs. So what are they doing? They're going with a more run-heavy style approach. It runs the clock. You know, you're not getting big chunk plays as much from the Packers as you may have in the past. So again, I like this number to once again go under. You know, when you take a look at the New England Patriots on the other hand, you know, they're more than likely starting quarterback Brian Hoyer. So this number could even drop a point once it's confirmed. And if you know Bill Belichick, you know, he runs a very run-heavy offense as is, play-action attack. He relies on his defense, but he goes to that even more when his starting quarterback goes down, okay? This New England Patriots team does have a solid defense. They have a very run-heavy approach with Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris. You know, their wideouts are Devontae Parker, Jacoby Myers, who I believe will miss, but Kendrick Bourne as well. And the strength of the Green Bay Packers is their secondary. So because of that, I don't think the Patriots score many points. It's tough for me to see them scoring more than 10. I think this is very similar to that of the Chicago Bears game where the Packers won 27-10. So because of that, I love this under in week 4 for the Green Bay Packers and the New England Patriots. It's under 40.5 one more time, and that's where we'll be going in this one. Now, moving on. This one might be one a lot of people don't really enjoy. But I love the bounce backs. I love the teams with their back against the wall. And a team with their back against the wall, or literally the definition of back against the wall, is the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, the Las Vegas Raiders actually haven't been playing that terrible of football. They're 0-3, but they just haven't had the ability to close any games. They've been close, but they just kind of throw it away at the end. And now, what better team to get right against than the Denver Broncos? The Denver Broncos were in one of those spots last week where I felt like their back was against the wall. They've been playing terrible football, but they were at home against a tough San Francisco 49ers team, and just something told me that Denver would win that game, and somehow they won 11-10. It's the same scenario here with the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, Derek Carr has been turning the ball over a lot. They've actually been moving the football successfully through the air, but Derek Carr's just been turning it over. This team has a ton of weapons with Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, but they need to get that run game going more. Josh Jacobs is not getting the ball enough. They're not getting enough yards on the ground. They're not scoring the ball on the ground in terms of rushing touchdowns. Everything's been through the air. So they need to become multidimensional to succeed. And obviously in the NFL, the best teams are multidimensional. Take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles right now. But this is a Denver Broncos team that just is not clicking. Yes, they got through that San Francisco game, but a lot of that was because of how bad Jimmy Garoppolo played. Let's be real. They are not clicking. Russell Wilson is not connecting with Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy. They're giving up a good amount of sacks. They're 23rd throughout the league in sacks, so I think it's a good opportunity for Max Crosby and Chandler Jones to get right. And again, a lot of this just has to do with, what team needs it more, what team is going to play harder. And I think that's the Las Vegas Raiders. Can you put your trust in Nathaniel Hackett right now to even coach a good game, to even complete a game of coaching and not make any mistakes? I really can't. Once they get down in the red zone, they run red zone fade to Cortland Sutton 3 times in a row when you've got Javonte Williams. It makes no sense. And I just feel like this is going to be that opportunity for the Las Vegas Raiders to win this game. They need this game more than any team throughout the NFL. If they can't do this, then I'm off the wagon. Okay, you won't hear about the Raiders again. But I love the bounce back spots. I love when the back is against the wall. So give me Derek Carr. Give me the Raiders at -2.5. Now, moving on to our last pick of the day. Okay, this is what I was talking about with it being a little different because it's going to be an alternative line parlay. And it's going to be our very own Detroit Lions. All right, I don't know why. I just got a little weary about that -4.5 with the Seattle Seahawks. Just have some weird feeling that could come within that or backdoor cover that shit. So I decided to go with the Detroit Lions at -2.5. So you have to win by a field goal. And then the over 43.5. Okay, when you combine the two of those together, it's +115. So you're getting plus money odds on this play. And honestly, I just feel a lot more comfortable with this. I mean, a lot of this is due to the fact, Detroit has a great offense. They've been scoring the football on everyone. They've been rushing the football on everyone. But we do have DeAndre Swift potentially missing. We do have Amon-Ra St. Brown potentially missing. So that's why I feel like a backdoor cover could just somehow sneak in there. So I wanted to run that alternative line. Again, it's +115 odds. Jared Goff still has plenty of weapons around him. Jamal Williams can fill in that backfield. You still have DJ Chark. TJ Hawkinson needs to take a step forward. He blew that for us last week. He's 0 for 3 in hitting his receiving yards numbers. He's got to take a step forward. This has got to be this week, but I guess I just don't have the balls to pick him again, if I'm being honest. But I still like this Detroit Lions team a lot at home. Dan Campbell finds a way to get this team going. Every single game, they come excited. They move the football right away. There hasn't really been a ton of lull. And the biggest thing is always close. We should have won that game last week against the Minnesota Vikings, ended up blowing that away. So you would assume this Detroit Lions team is going to come in fired up. They're going to move the ball. I think this Detroit defensive line can actually have some success in this game as well against the Seattle Seahawks O-line. They have a very bad offensive line. They can potentially force Geno Smith into some mistakes. So again, I do like this Detroit Lions team. I like them to cover the -2.5. Would I side with that 4.5? Yeah, I would, but I don't know. Something about it just kind of creeped me out a little bit. So I did the alternative line. So again, that is -2.5 Detroit Lions, and that is over 43.5 in the game for +115 odds. Okay, so again, guys, that's all 4 plays for the day. The bounce back special, really feeling good about these. I actually gave you guys some of my sports memo plays as well. Just don't tell anyone, all right? Because again, I just want everyone to win. I'm trying to give my best plays to everyone, and it kind of sucks having some of them on a website. But that's the name of the game. signed with Sports Memo now. I do put up a ton of free picks and plays over at Sports Memo too, on top of paid subscribers, stuff like that. So if you do want to check out some of the free stuff, feel free. I don't like advertising that shit. I just want free picks and plays for everyone. As always, I want to get the wins out there. So let's bounce back this week. Week 4, we are 6-5 on the season. Let's get to 10-5. Would fucking love that. But as always, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in to the Detroit Sports Bettors Picks and Plays Show. All in all, 19-13 on the season. Check out the TikTok. Definitely check out the Twitter, because all of my information will be on my Twitter anytime I release something on the Twitter. So Moneyline Matt on Twitter. Check that out. Appreciate you guys as always. Let's kill it this Sunday. Have a good one, y'all.